guys, welcome to the Redesign with Prima Facebook group. I am Leah and I am the owner of Leah Noell Design Co and a brand ambassador here at Redesign. And I come live every Tuesday at 12 o'clock Central Standard Time in the Redesign with Prima group to show you guys how to use Prima products, molds, transfers, mica powders, let's see, resin, tints, all sorts of fun things. So today we're going to be working with molds and transfers, and I am going to do a little craft here as I show you guys how to pour molds. We're going to make a box. Now, this is what I'm using today. I picked this up at Michael's. I painted it in buttercream from Dixie Belle, and I am attaching, you see these here? These are molds that I made, and they're postage stamps. They're really cute. So I'm using Butterfly in Flight, the Butterfly in Flight mold, and it has these cute little like stamps. Do you see these stamp things? Like postage stamps. They're really, really cute. So I'm going to show you today how to pour the resin mold, how to attach it, what glue I like, and all of that good stuff. And I'm also going to apply this transfer from an older, I think it's still available, Persian butterfly. And this is a scrap. I've been saving it for a long time. I love script. I've been really into the script prints lately. And we're gonna attach that in here, okay? I might even pour resin over it. And we're gonna put this in here when we're done pouring our molds today. So say hi as you come on. Now listen, if you guys are on my page, Leah Noell Design Co, and you're having a hard time commenting, go into the Redesign with Prima group and you should be able to comment from there. I know we've had some issues with that, but I can't see any comments yet. So let me know if you guys are here. Hopefully they'll start working. All right, so I'm gonna start today by talking about how to make the molds. And I've made some already. So we're gonna just make some, and then I have some already here to use. So let me just pull this aside. I'm gonna come around. What you'll need to make a mold, this is aluminite, okay? And I get this from like Joe's Art Supply or something like that. But this is aluminite, and this is casting resin. You could pick it up at Michael's. It's not too expensive. It's not too big. It is kind of expensive. I think they're kind of expensive. That's why I buy the big gallons. And I have been using my gallons since, I've gotten several projects out of them. And you get, like, this is probably all you need to buy for a long period of time, if that makes sense. So a little bit of resin goes a long way. Now, I am going to use plastic cups here. Can you guys see okay? There's a comment. Hi, Marianne. Okay, I'm going to turn this down so you guys can see what I'm doing right here. Okay, so let me grab a stirring stick. So I'm going to pour my mold in here. I need plastic cups and little shot glasses to measure. Now, I buy these at the dollar store, and I've found that they're too big, and my resin gets hard before I can pour it all out, because you have to pour 2 of them. So my mother-in-law had brought these to me, and they're smaller, and she got them at GFS. GFS is Gordon Food Services, so these smaller shot glasses are good. You can also use medicine cups, but I don't know how to buy medicine cups in bulk. So I just have been using these, and I like them. I get them at Gordon Food Services, okay? And I like to pour my resin on top of this because, first of all, it creates a flat surface so I can measure evenly. And second of all, it lets me keep my tablecloth on here just a little bit longer. So I'm going to go ahead and measure equal parts of both of these. And this is fast set resin. Some of the resins that you guys see us use not on molds is like a top coat resin or artist resin. This is fast set, and this is meant to make a very hard mold. A hard mold fast that isn't clear, okay? So we're making these right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them both in a cup, and I'm gonna stir it for about 10 seconds. Now, I'm using a plastic knife. I prefer to use wooden sticks, but they didn't have them at the dollar store the last time I went. So what I usually do is I pour them in, and I remember that this one had the yellow epoxy in it, and this one had the clear. And if I'm pouring multiple molds, I will recycle these as much as I can. But once they come together, they start activating. So right now, this is already starting to activate. So I just want to give it a whirl for like 10 seconds. Just enough to mix it. And then I want to pour it right away. So I usually start, it's the most flexible. It's the easiest to use when it first comes out. And I want to do my really detailed ones first. I'm actually going to pour my postage stamps first because those are the ones I want. Now, as I'm pouring, I'm really trying, it's better to have less in it than more. You kind of don't want them to be fat because then they don't adhere as well. So you kind of want less. Less is more. So I'm just going to pour it in, and then I'll move it around with my knife or a toothpick here in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and pour my butterflies too. Ooh, that might be too much. I always try to have a couple molds set out, and the reason is because I want to use everything that's in my cup. So I will set more molds out. Usually that's why you see that blue mold there. I'll have more, because usually I have more in my cup than I need, just because of the way I measure it. So if you see here, I'm just kind of guiding some of this resin. Oh, forgot this guy over here. And I can feel it starting to get a little bit hot. And when I can start to feel it get hot, I know it's about time for it to be done. It's about to be done. So what'll happen here is a lot of the resin that I used first will stay clear almost. And then the ones that I poured, last, like this butterfly, will probably, it'll start to turn white first. It'll start to process first. And I think it's just because it's hit the air longer. I'm gonna see if we can get this moth over here. Okay, so now I'm kind of at the point, I still have a lot of resin left in my cup. I probably couldn't fill this, but I'm just gonna keep it tilted, and I'm gonna move this resin around. I prefer to use a toothpick, but I don't have one over here, and honestly, I don't have time to grab one, because if I grab one, this resin's it's already starting to get hard. In fact, this butterfly just turned white. So I just kind of want to make sure I have everything. My cup is hot. My cup is really hot right now. And that butterfly may not actually form correctly, but you can see this one's starting to turn white, and I poured it last. Now, I'm going to try and pour my resin out, and you're going to see it doesn't come out. It's already starting to get, look at that, gummy. So that much is going to waste. And that's why I like these smaller cups, because, you know, sometimes I can get it all out and sometimes I can't. So we're gonna just let this sit. Uh-oh, that needed. We're gonna let this sit for a minute, and I'm gonna look at your comments. Hi, Leslie. It is a 10-minute setup. It takes about 10 minutes. So, hey, Roz. So it's 12:09 right now. It's probably going to take about 10 minutes for it to set up. So I'm going to, while we're waiting, this is what I have planned. I'm just going to set it over here. We're going to just move it over. And I have more. I have some that are already done. I'll demold these for you, but I already have some that are done. So I already, I came prepared today. So I adhered them on the sides of my box, and I'm going to adhere them again, but first I'm going to put my transfer in here. And the transfer I'm using is this one, the Persian Butterfly, the Script. I love Script. I've been saving this for a while, and I think this is the right piece to use it on. So I'm going to go ahead and just measure. And what I mean, I'm going to cut this to fit almost exactly in here. I'm just going to trim this side a little bit. And this side too. And I'm going to cut, actually, I'm going to cut right at the paragraph break. I don't know what this really says. It says something in cursive that's really hard to read. It's 3 o'clock, must leave. I don't know. She's finalizing something. really pretty, but poor cursive. So I'm just going to take the back off, and I'm going to just lay this in. And I'm going to imagine this is my front. And I'm just going to lay this in. And I'm going to start from the top. Now, in this dish, I actually bought this dish originally to pour clear casting resin over. I don't think like over in here, like you could put transfers in here and you could pour the clear epoxy class resin in, which is different from the mold resin. The resin, the top coating resin is different. You can use the top coating resin for molds. It just takes like 24 hours to dry. But I've seen where people do the transfers in here and then pour resin inside it as a top coat, and it looks like glass. Not the resin that I used earlier though. I'm not gonna do that with this one. I was going to. That's originally why I bought the actual wood piece. But epoxy resin is not gonna look good with the rustic feel of this little mail thing. This is like a perfect piece of farmhouse decor. And I did it in the buttercream color. I did that on purpose. I'm gonna just rub this in. I did the buttercream on purpose because I wanted it to look a little aged. Like a letter. Did you guys ever do that where you like write a letter and then you stain it with tea in grade school? And it's like brown. I'm also thinking I might put Van Dyke brown glaze over this just to age it more. And I can use that glaze right over the transfer. I'm probably going to seal it with satin clear coat first, which is just like a polyacrylic sealer, and then put the glaze over it just to have more control. But I think I am going to put glaze over the whole thing, and I will definitely share a picture when I'm done. But let's get this transfer down. Sometimes I prefer the little sticks that come with them because I get more concentrated pressure in one area. Which is better for this script. This one was not working too good for this particular project. I'm gonna go sentence by sentence and just nail it down. some spots that didn't go down, and that's okay. It still looks complete. It's pretty much all I want in here. Let me show you. Hi. Okay, so this is the script on the inside. And I still have a lot of script. I could do script on the outside too, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to continue forth with the molds. So let's go forward with the molds. And okay, these have only had about 5 minutes. These are not set yet. And the way I know that they're not set is if you just, like, this one almost looks like it's set. Remember, this was the last one we poured. So the first ones we poured will take the longest to dry because they're setting in there. But this one, you can kind of tell, you just kind of like pull, okay, this one right here, I could pull that up and I could pull that out. And if I want to pull this one out, this was one of the last ones I did. So it's the first one to set up. As I pull it out, I could use this and I could mold it around like the corner here while it's still a little bit pliable. It's not going to really fold over the corner because it's a little bit thick. But I could bend this to the shape. Like if I have a drawer that's curved, I could just bend this while it's still pliable to fit. I also use my heat gun a lot. So if I'm putting a mold on something and I like let it sit in the mold too long, I'll just heat my mold. I'll heat my resin mold up a little bit and it gives it a little bit of flexibility. Not as much as it has right now, but it gives it a little bit. And then you can tell if it's not done because like right here, if I pull down on this, you see how it's not giving at all? Like nothing is popping up. This one will pop up because it was one of the last ones in. So we're gonna let those set up a little bit longer and I'm gonna show you how to just adhere these. And it's super, super simple. So this is the front and I just used the little postage stamps. And let me see, where did I put them? So I have them again right here. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my favorite glue. Where'd it go? Here it is, it's on the ground. This is called Tight Bond Quick and Thick. You could just get this on Amazon. You could get it at your hardware store. This is my favorite. I used to use E6000 and I have a bunch of it left. I prefer this. I prefer this because it smells better and it works really good. It makes sure that these things stay on. So, I don't know. On my side here, I kind of want to do the same thing.
My apologies. I couldn't hear what you said.
I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So I know I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put this here. And then, what did I have? I'm going to put my postal thing here. I don't want it to be upside down though. So it'll be reversed like that. I'm going to do the side real quick though, because I'm just going to stick these on the side. And I'm going to put these on the side because I want to keep my design odd. What's up?
Can I go with Drew
Where are you going?
to his house?
For what?
Grandma's there and whatever.
All right, just wait until I'm done with my live, okay? Sorry guys, got to parent. Got to parent a lot because guess what? My kids aren't going back to school. They're not even going back to school. Their school just called e-learning for the first semester. So I'm just going to put one here. And I'm just going to put one here because I want to keep the numbers odd. So what I like to do is I just like to put a little bit, like a glob of the Tight Bond on here. And then what I do is I just smash two together to spread it. And then I'm going to paint over them. So I'm just going to try to center that as best as I can. I'm going to flip it and do the same thing right here. And I'm actually going to grab a little clamp to hold those because I want to do the other side with you. So I just got these cute little clamps. Oh, I'm going to scoot this over a little. And I'm just going to clamp it to hold it in place while it dries. Aren't these clamps like they're little cute clamps, aren't they? They came in a package. Okay, so just something to hold that there while we do this side. So my main thing on this side is I want to make sure that my lettering is going the right way. I don't want it to be upside down. I guess it wouldn't matter, but I really don't want it to be upside down. I want it to be the right side up. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to just add a little glue on here, and then I'm going to dip. I'm just going to spread it like this by just sandwiching them together. I'm going to lay that one down so it looks like I have enough. It doesn't take a lot of glue. But I found that when I do it like this, because I tend to put too much glue on, I save paintbrushes because, I mean, once you put paint on your paint, or once you put glue on your paintbrushes, you have to throw them away. So I prefer this method, and I feel like it spreads it pretty well. So, make sure those are okay. We're just going to set this on. We're actually going to set this, I'm going to clamp this twice because it needs it. So it looks okay. So I'm just going to set them on like this. Okay. And then if you guys are wondering, when I paint these, I steeple them. So I stipple. I stipple them. So I tap them with my paintbrush, right? I take my paintbrush and I kind of hit them like this. And then I just brush over them smooth. Let's see if these are ready yet. All right, so these are ready and they're still a little bit, you're able to mold them a little bit. The butterflies are pretty. Aren't those pretty? Let me see if I can turn this down a little. You can see the detail. That's one butterfly. There's another little one. But these just pop right out, okay? And they're solid. If you want a crackled effect, Redesign does have the molding material. I think they're discontinuing it, but the molding material will give you a crackled effect. And see here, like this one, this would actually have been cuter if I did like this and I took it out while it was still pliable. I didn't do it though. And folded it over the edge, you know, that would have been really, really cute because this is thinner. So it'll, look at how nice that'll fold. Look at how nice that folds while it's still like pliable. Where the thicker ones, I mean, they'll fold. That's pretty pliable. I mean, come on. That's pretty awesome. So I keep them pretty pliable when I need them to be. I'll use them like that. But for the most part, these are just extras. These will just like kind of hang out until I need them. Same thing, super pliable right now. Little stamps. I think they're adorable. I really like the postage stamp stuff. And you know, I like butterflies, but I really like the little stamps. I really like it a lot. So I'm gonna let this dry. I'm gonna show you guys the glaze I'm thinking of using. This is by Van Dyke Brown Glaze, so you can kind of see. So what I'll do is I'll use satin clear coat over the whole thing. And then I'll use the Van Dyke Brown Glaze over the satin clear coat, and that'll kind of that'll just kind of age it a little bit and make it really like just unique and aged. So that's pretty much it, you guys. It's really easy. Do you guys have any questions about the molds? Yeah, that's gonna sit on the inside. I could even put a couple stamps in here if I wanted to. I don't know, maybe I should. I would have to paint them first before I attach them. But I could even put stamps in here since I really think this is just going to be like a letter holder. Yeah, it's just going to be like a little letter holder. And I'm not even going to clamp these. I'm just going to let them sit like this. But okay. Well, I hope that was helpful. to you guys. If you guys have any questions about the molds or anything else, please let me know. You can always just send me a message at Leah Noell Design Co. I try to check them every 24 hours. You know, Instagram and Facebook merged, and I'm having a hard time. Sometimes my messages are just like, my inbox is a little funky. So if I don't see your message, just send me another one, and I will, hopefully it'll pop up and I'll see it. So I try to get to them every 24 hours. So please have patience. If you guys have questions, just feel free to message me, and I will answer. All right, everybody. I hope you guys have an awesome Tuesday, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.